Action Sack.
Good
Okay,
evening.
open that
Installation 7.
What?
Nothing.
Why? Oh, I get you.
Can you open that? Can you open
Live
that?
from Installation
So-
7. It's
Ow.
the Action Sack podcast.
Well, we
Brought
might not
to
even
you by
do it.
Anchor FM.
We might not even do an intro. We might just.
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing around.
What's up, guys?
Can you
This
try putting
is-
it on the?
What?
Can you try putting the thing on?
This?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll catch.
Wait, can we? First of all, hello everybody. This is the 3rd episode of the Action Sack. I'm your host, Eurich.
I'm the co-host, Xavier.
And I'm the third co-host, Thomas.
And we're going to start off today's episode by doing a little ASMR video. We got the Pringles Halo Moa burgers, the promotional merch. This isn't merch. What do you call this?
Produce.
Produce?
No, not produce.
Product?
It's the limited
Oh,
edition
it's-
run of the Pringles can, and its flavor Moa Burgers by 343.
Yeah,
Industries.
Moa is like that bird from Halo Reach. But anyway, we got them sent over. Shout out, sent over, from our boy out in Minnesota, Nikel.
Thank you, Nikel.
AKA the Diamond Direwolf, AKA formerly they call me Orion.
Yeah, call him Orion. I don't think anyone calls him
Okay,
that though.
so
So yeah, we're gonna do a
go ahead
little
and
taste
open these
test before we get into this
Yeah,
episode.
I don't have mine.
Can
I
you
gave
give
it
us
to
on
these
my mic?
guys.
I messed mine up.
Wow, they're perfect. See, who was saying that they were gonna come in and be?
I was
like,
scared they
broken
would.
up?
was?
No, they're broken.
Yeah.
Really? Dude, mine are perfect.
Screw you.
Look at this.
All right, so right off the
Okay.
bat, it
Yeah.
smells like a regular Pringles chip.
Can I smell it?
It's kind of sour smelling.
A little bit sour smelling, yeah.
Like, right?
It's a.
It's like pungent.
Okay, so
It smells like
the
something
chip
I've tried.
visually looks like a white Pringles chip. It's wavy.
Yeah,
it has
is.
some kind of orange dusting on there. I'm pretty sure that's the Moa burger flavoring.
Yeah, I feel like you go first, X. You should try it.
So
Try putting it on the
it smells
crunch.
like a Pringle. It's a
ASMR
little bit
this.
sour.
Yeah.
ASMR this. Go,
Yeah,
eat it,
kinda
eat it,
pungent.
just eat
okay,
it.
Okay, I'll take a bite.
What do you think?
Oh shit,
Is it good?
they're interesting.
Okay, you got your second. You got the next bite here.
I'm just joking. They taste like Pringles.
Oh,
Tastes like Pringles.
dang. Okay,
There's like,
here's my turn.
well,
it's good.
there's something in there.
It tastes like pickles.
Pickles?
Yeah. It's like sour and there's like a little like
Oh, interesting.
No, it tastes like
it's a little like peppery at the
It is a little bit. It's a little
it
bit
tastes like
hot.
something I try in this flavor profile. Kind of reminds me of like Oriental food.
What? Coriander?
Oriental food.
Coriander.
It's a little addicting.
Sorry, my
Not
headphones
There's
are
some
kind-
Oriental flavors going
Our
on
noise
here.
canceling, so I can't hear them as well. The more
Right,
I
you guys
eat,
taste it, right?
the more peppery it is in my mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of getting spicy.
It tastes
Yeah.
like it has like oyster sauce in it.
You know those shrimp, the hot and spicy shrimp crackers?
Yeah.
I
those
feel
are
like it's a
good.
little bit like that.
What? I don't taste seafood.
It-
You
Oh,
taste the
no,
oyster
but,
sauce?
I think I hear that oyster sauce taste. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like oyster sauce in this, definitely.
Yeah, a little bit.
Some kind of oystery
It's not
flavor.
as sweet as oyster sauce is sweet.
I mean, yeah, it's not that sweet, but like,
Okay, I think I've had enough for a bit.
I'm gonna keep eating.
This is definitely not an ASMR episode, so
Yeah.
hopefully.
Um,
Whoa, that made a loud beep.
all right, you guys finish your chips
Wait, one
and
more.
let's get started.
Interesting.
So, while they're eating and finishing their chips, I think this week on the table we have we're
Welcome.
covering Infinite updates as usual, and we have first we're gonna look at the Q&A video that 343 put out in response to
Zeta Halo.
March's update. No, in response to
February.
February's
Zeta
update.
Halo. Okay.
And then we're going to do the actual community update that came out in March. And that one is about audio design for Halo Infinite in that order. And then we're going to do Action Sack at the end. Sound good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great.
If you couldn't tell, we upgraded our recording system. So just like 343 revamped the audio system for Halo, we revamped just a little bit for this podcast. We're taking this serious, guys. It's like
Audio updates all around.
yeah.
We got new mics,
Yeah.
fancy mics
You mics.
with the arm and everything.
Yeah, and if we actually show the video, then
And we're recording this time, like video. We'll see how that goes.
yeah.
It may or may not
Video.
be on YouTube. So we'll see.
post
But
the
anyway,
camera.
let's. What's up, camera?
Yo.
Hello. I don't like cameras. Anyway, Tom, take it away. We're just gonna pick and choose kind of the highlights. I think. from
Yeah,
that
I think
Q&A.
I'll
don't
try
think
and
we
go
need
in
to touch
chronological
everything,
order about like some of the main topics that they had discussed.
but- Yeah.
It might be a little bit cluttered, but pretty much we'll go through the main points that they had brought up.
I think they really hit a lot of the things that we were going to. I think they really hit a lot of the things that we were kind of speculating about, which was really cool.
Oh yeah, like I know they touched up on some of the things we even speculated in the previous episodes of
Yeah.
Action Sack. So it's kind of cool that even some of them were correct on. Specifically, I know one of the questions they got was playable elites, and big news, guys. If you didn't know, they are confirmed to not be in Halo Infinite.
Boo! But it's okay.
Yeah, I know Eurich's kind of brokenhearted.
Well, I was bummed, but I was prepared for that. You know, like I said in last episode that I don't think there's no way they're gonna do playable elites.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't fit the
And then right after, the community got pretty pissed, as expected.
But like, how would they fit? You know, if they did add elites, how would they
Yeah.
fit into the narrative? You know, because this is all.
I think they
about,
would just do like war game simulations.
Oh, okay.
That's how
Yeah, that'd
like
be
they were
cool.
in. But it's. I don't know where I was going with that. but yeah, it's always something that they can add down the line, and people. I don't get when people and that's what they said in the update. You know, like we're not saying, like never say never. You know.
Yeah.
Because it is a 10-year game, and the plan for it is 10 years, and so there's always room to add it. And the fucking public, when 343 says stuff like that, they're always like, oh yeah, they're just saying that to say that. And it's like, no, they're saying that because that's an actual possibility. It's like they're going to be adding content down the line anyway, so
Yeah. The fucking public.
never say never.
It's funny because right after I was gonna be like, yeah, I just think they're not. They're probably just saying that, But
Yeah, probably.
I like
you
how
know,
they just
they'll
kind of
do it.
said
I have
that.
hope.
I do have hope.
Speaking of hope,
Speaking of hope.
that is one of the pillars that the audio team had to work.
Oh
on.
no, we're still doing Q&A.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh.
we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Got you.
That being said,
Woo, let's get into it.
I think we're gonna kind of pick and choose some of the questions that the community asked that we kind of thought were cool or that we had things to say about. So someone asked 343 if we could expect some sort of degree. That's the phone. We're gonna wait really quick for.
I don't think you can hear it, but
Who has landline? People in the States don't have landlines anymore.
they don't.
No.
Oh no,
It's not
yeah.
common.
Once you have cell phones,
Yeah,
the
no one really
landline is
has-
becoming obsolete.
Yeah. It's just a Guam thing, I think, really.
Right now, no. I think even my house, we just keep it to keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we just keep it because like my family
Yeah.
uses it still. Like my uncles and aunties, if they
Yeah.
call, they don't call our cell phones; they call them landline. Anyway, back to the Q&A. So someone asked if we could expect some degree of weather systems or dynamic weather in Infinite. To that, they had said that nothing crazy, at least for launch. So again, there's a little room for maybe an update with that, but what we can expect is some kind of fog system that kind of changes with altitude.
Yeah, it's kind of basic, just the wind system. So they're like,
Yeah.
it depends
Wind
on,
and
I
fog
guess it's
system.
saying changes with the altitude, and then also depends on time of day.
Which I think is cool. I love fog.
I mean, yeah,
Fog's cool.
it's very basic. Something they confirmed, which I'm kind of saddened about, is that there's no rainstorms, thunderstorms, snowstorm systems at launch. They said specifically launch, so that obviously means that's
Yeah.
probably something they're gonna work on toward the latter half or later after release.
Yeah.
Hey, that could be cool. Like you're doing your fifth playthrough of the campaign, and
It's
suddenly there are
raining.
like thunderstorms. And I was like, oh wow, this is a new experience. So
Ooh.
you know,
I
could be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, that is something I super want to see later on down the line.
You think they'll update the campaign though?
Well, where else would they put?
I mean, I
Those
was
kinds of-
because for me, I'm like also thinking of multiplayer, and so that means at least we won't have like a sand trap type map or a snowbound map yet.
No, we'll have those. You can have the map, just not weather on it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, so you think weather as in like the environment and it's like raining or something like that? Like those
Yeah,
type
that's
of,
what weather is.
Yeah.
Oh, but you think and then you'll have still like
You
the
can have like
terrain.
sand trap map. I'm sure. Yeah, those are just biomes. Those are just.
Oh.
There's no weather on sand trap.
Oh.
Duh,
okay.
like
Dude, it's dry.
it's yeah. There's no weather on snowbound. I mean, it's like
it's
it's,
just
not
it's
like
just a
natural.
biome.
Yeah, they meant like
Oh,
Bro,
I'm
where are
excited.
you?
I'm switching my.
Yeah.
yeah. That did you think there was just gonna be one palette for multiplayer maps?
Yeah,
It was just like
yeah,
all
no.
forest maps.
Oh,
No.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
It just means active weather cycles, like you
Okay.
know, like the
Yes.
same way like a day and night cycle, you know, is like changes that means like active weather. But
Okay.
anyway,
Oh, so at least
Bro,
I,
where
I hope I'm
you-
wrong on
where's
that.
your head
I'm
at?
I hope I'm wrong on that front. Cool.
so yeah, there's a difference between the biome and the weather.
So it's just the air. So when we talk about weather, it's just the air.
Yeah,
that
well, yeah, the going on like the dynamic things, just like the way
Interesting.
day and night changes, if
Okay.
weather can change. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to have different biomes.
hey, if I'm right though,
Okay,
you guys can get. I'm gonna get mad.
Okay.
if you're right, I'll buy you the campaign.
Oh shoot. Hey,
Whoa.
more bets for this.
You
podcast.
heard it here, boys
Thank
and
you.
girls.
I'll buy him the campaign if there are no snow or sandy maps and it's just one biome.
You're just gonna like bet it
Can you
all.
imagine
Let's
7 different forest maps?
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
No.
No, that's
No.
weird.
No.
Okay. Well,
Um,
if I'm wrong, that's for the benefit of the game.
yeah.
I did want to touch up. There was also something that they did add about the day and night cycle and environment, and so they were talking about cutscenes. One person asked, "How
Yeah.
will the game, like day and night system, affect cutscenes? Will it be predetermined, or will it be like something like, oh, I'll
Pre-rendered,
start,
yeah.
or like when I start the thing, it'll just change the time of day, things like that. Is it set?" But they confirmed that it'll be more so seamless transitions, just like as we saw in the demo, where you'll see the cutscene and then it kind of just transitions into your
Gameplay to
first-person
cutscene.
HUD.
Cutscene to gameplay.
Yeah, and so like it doesn't. So they're saying it doesn't matter what time of day it is, where you're at. I guess what weapons you're holding, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, you will see the whatever time of day, if it's nighttime or in the morning, the cutscene will be at that time, that same period. So it's pretty much continuous throughout. So that's kind of interesting because then we won't know canonly, or maybe like in the canon, or like
Oh, if things
like when people
take place
post
at
up all the
certain-
cutscenes, it'll be different for
Oh,
everyone.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's like, what is going to be
Yeah,
the
so
actual?
if I park my warthog on like a boulder or something, I better see it in my cutscene.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if you could drag dead bodies into the frame. You should just-
Right?
Oh,
this
that's
pile.
like in Halo 1 and 2.
Well,
like,
that's why, yeah, when the cutscenes were rendered in engine and like there were just dead enemies laying around, they would
Yeah.
be in the
Yeah.
cutscenes. It'd be cool if you could pick
That'd be
stuff up.
super funny.
Oh, what? Can you grapple dead bodies? You could
I
technically.
think you could.
I feel like if
Maybe.
you could, people would be doing that. Like grapple a dead body, drag it to the, just
Ye-
make a pile,
yeah.
and then trigger the cutscene.
Yeah.
you can definitely grapple like the weapons that they drop.
Yeah.
I know that was confirmed. So grappling bodies, that'd be interesting. That'd be funny.
It would be
Someone
funny.
just like shooting the dead body and bringing it to like closer to them.
We'll see.
And there's a lot of things you can do. I guess I wonder if it's just in the game.
I guess we'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah.
On the day and night cycle too, someone asked in that Q&A if the day night cycle is going to affect enemy encounters and stuff like that. And they said yes, which I think we all. I don't know if that was something that we predicted or not predicted.
We did touch up on it actually.
What do you call it? Speculation. Keep forgetting the word. I think that's something we speculated about, that like they're gonna be like creepier enemies at night, or like it's, you know, and that's something they did say, like you're gonna have like sleeping grunt or like increases in like phantom, like nighttime phantom patrols and stuff. Oh, which is like a thing in ODST, right? Where you get like those phantoms
That are
patrolling
Yeah,
Mombasa
definitely.
Street. So I think that'll be really cool.
Ooh.
And then just the environment change, and they said like, I think I'm excited for like the bioluminescent stuff. I thought it was I forget who was talking, but like he was saying like we have stuff in there just because it looks cool. And as an artist, I think that's kind of cool. It's just like a like a whatever kind of attitude about it. It's just like, why is that there? It's like, well, you know, it doesn't have to be this long explanation about like, oh yeah, like we really thought about the systems and like how the environment, the biomes. Like, no, it looked cool. Like it glows bright at night, so we're putting it in there. Like, oh, fusion coils, yeah, those are really bright. Like, let's put more fusion coils at night. Probably. I think that was really cool. Sometimes it just comes down to like, this looks cool, like put it in. Or like, this is fun, like throw
Hell
this in.
yeah.
Like, there doesn't have to be a rhyme or reason behind it.
Dude, but you know, light up shields. Even the Covenant did it because they thought it was cool. I think in canon, I think
what?
In canon, you know,
Where?
they're just like,
where does it say that?
no, Jackals were just like,
Please
you
cite
know,
your sources,
dude, bro. This is blue.
Please
I want my.
cite your sources.
One guy was probably just like, I want my shield blue.
Well, the Covenant, that's actually a thing in canon though. Like the Covenant is all about like aesthetics.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like things
there's
that don't function well about that, like that they could be doing differently, but it's
They're
just
so
like, no, we're
vain,
just
man.
fancy.
Like,
no, they are. They're super vain.
I'm like saying these as jokes and then
No,
just
I'm
confirming my
dead serious. And then a lot of people who are into like the deep lore will tell you like the Covenant was really vain.
man.
Anyway, next question. I think someone asked about biome variation. As far as the campaign goes, and I think, which I don't know if this is kind of disappointing if it's true for me, that they were more focused, or at least for campaign it's going to be sub-biomes instead of like different biomes.
Mm-hmm.
See
Like-
that, and that's why when I thought earlier about like the weather system and things like that, and then even this is saying the PNW is the main environment of the game. It scares me that now.
Multiplayer?
I hope multiplayer then
Nah.
at least has some snow maps, some sand maps,
different.
swampy maps, things like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm okay, I'll be okay about it a little bit for the campaign, but yeah, that was one of my main things I said in the last episode where I wanted something like a snow map or those type of environments. Like it's a Halo, it should have all those types of things.
Yeah.
And I know
It will.
we were saying that it won't; those type of things won't be there at launch. So maybe down the line they do update, and then maybe an area will be drastically changed later on,
that'd
or
be
maybe
cool.
in DLC or something like that. So, you know, hopes up. As always, this game is a work in progress, and it's a 10-year game, so we can expect changes to happen down the line.
And then they talked about like foreigner architecture, and they brought up the hexagons again and how they've done work on those. They don't just look like Minecraft walls anymore. If you guys remember from the launch trailer.
I mean, I never thought they were bad, though. Like,
No,
thought they
I
were
never.
okay.
Well, actually, I kind of. That was the first thought that ran through my head when I saw. I was like, Minecraft in Halo. But I get what they were. Like when I first saw them, I was like, okay, it's an unfinished Halo, like it's being repaired, so that's why those things are exposed. But they could use some
Yeah,
texture.
have you seen those like Halo 5 Forge maps? They recreated like
Oh,
they
yeah.
made like a custom game for like Minecraft. I thought it was funny. It's like an
I didn't
infection
know
map.
that.
Yeah.
It's just, you can see it on the browser. It's just funny. Like I thought it was pretty cool. So Halo can fit in Minecraft, guys. Come on, have an open mind.
Unfortunately. Next question. Dual wielding, will it be in Halo Infinite? The answer is no.
I'm
How do you feel about that, X?
Just kidding.
Sucks. But I mean, you know, that could change later on.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't think there's been a dual wielding since 3.
No, not since 3.
yeah,
Reach
they took
didn't
it
have
out
it,
at
right?
Reach. Reach was the one they took it out
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I remember in the video documentary of the Vidoc, they're like, I don't remember. I'm gonna butcher whose the name was, but I think it was Paul. They're like, Paul didn't like dual wielding, so we cut it,
Yeah.
and that's how dual wielding got cut, guys.
Watch there be enemies that will dual wield anyway.
Yeah.
Because they had that in Reach too. Like some
elites would dual wield
they could
plasma.
dual wield in
Oh, that's
Reach.
you're so right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think on a campaign level, yeah, they'll probably do
Yeah.
it. But I personally, it's not something that I miss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool.
It is cool.
But it's not one of those things that I'm like, fuck, man. Why did they cut this out?
It's
of
not
the game?
game changing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But excited for the potential for them to add it back. And I was saying earlier, like, when 343 said, and they said this to this question, they were like, never say never. And then like people were like, oh, they're just saying that. That's bullshit. I was like, no, they genuinely mean that as like, it's like, I don't know, you can't please everyone. Like if you leave something open ended, it's like Halo fans, at least the toxic ones, act like everything is like it's black and white. Like it's either a yes or a no type thing, and it's like we have it or we don't, and it's like if we don't, like 343 is the devil. But
And as you say, like they said in the Q&A, right? Like, so Halo Infinite, there's so much things you can do, but you can't do everything.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to choose.
That's a good quote,
perfectly
man.
fine.
Yeah, you can't.
Whoa. That I like that.
Put
quote.
that on a T-shirt or a
Yeah.
poster. Next question was, will there be weapon upgrades in campaign? I think this is a quick one. No. No weapon upgrades in campaign.
But they did confirm there's gonna be variants types.
Yeah,
just like
I'm
Halo
okay with
5.
variants.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay, so there were a lot of things 343 touched up on this Q&A, but it's a lot of they just redid some of the questions they answered already in their update for February. So I guess we'll only touch up on like a few more highlights that they had said in that Q&A. Were there anything that you guys liked from the Q&A?
I liked the skybox question. So someone asked if the Halo ring in the skybox was going to be just like a painted 2D visual, just like how in previous Halo games, the skybox. For those of you who don't know, the skybox is the background, I guess, is what's going on.
Yeah. Like when you look at the beach or something, and usually, or like
Yeah,
one
like the
area
things,
of the
it's the field
map.
the field and that's going like. Yeah, I have to. I can't think of the words right now, but
It's the background basically.
yeah,
So like when you look at
the dynamic background.
I know with like Valhalla or something, like you can look at the beach side or something, and then you can see like the ring kind of like move up, you know?
Yeah, or the
Those are the-
campaign is just
so,
like,
like,
the
people were-
battles going on in the background and that kind of stuff.
So that's why people were wondering if there's like these backgrounds would be like 2D models, but
Yeah, a lot in the past. So previously, most of those things have been like 2D assets, whereas actually like, which I think is really cool on the artistry side, it's just like painted,
yeah,
like digital paintings that were like flat, but you know, in the space you're in look like 3-dimensional. But they 343 had said that the ring is actually in this game is going to be so that the skybox is 3D, like a 3-dimensional model, which I think is super cool.
yeah. One of my favorite like tidbits was like they said, you know how they have their own dynamic light system. So I guess if there's a sun or like a star, like generating light for the environment, there's times of day because of the day and night system, like the star or sun will pass the halo ring and it'll cause like a mini eclipse.
That's cool.
I wonder how that's gonna look because we've seen eclipses in real life, but like I wonder how would that affect, like in a halo
An
effect,
eclipse in a game. Wow.
like
It's
it'd be blocked by the ring.
It could be cool. Like I imagine like playing and then it's one of those moments where you just like kind of stop.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
whoa, what just
like,
happened?
what's happening? It
And
just
then you,
got
like, look
dark
up,
in the
oh,
middle of the
shoot.
day. It
Dude,
could be cool.
I think
I'm
that'd be a
excited.
pretty cool gameplay aspect. That was actually one thing I kind of excited to see when I play the game. Anything that you liked specifically, X, from that Q&A?
Yeah, I like how they touched up on the Banished, their design philosophy particularly, because you know how the Banished, since it's a brute group, right, a brute-led group, they're not the most elegant, they're not the most, not the nicest looking group, I guess, in terms of how they operate, but, they're very, what's the word? Like, they're like gritty. It looks gritty, it looks very, they look very violent.
Yeah, they definitely have like an identity.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
when I
and
think,
established. I think it'll be cool for like new
yeah,
Halo fans who have not played Halo. So right, they had said like the Banished aesthetic was established in Halo Wars. So and for those people who haven't played Halo Wars, I think it'll be cool as just like a new kind of thing.
Introduction.
And then for those who have played Halo Wars, like I think it'll be cool seeing it translated in like FPS.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ooh. I mean, like, when you think of Halo 4 and 5, the first two 343 games, like, you challenge the Covenant, which, when you play Halo 4, you're like, I thought we beat the Covenant, and then it's just this Storm faction. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't
Unique.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
also just feels like they're there,
Yeah.
like, as enemies, your own enemies to kill, regardless.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe they should have done something, and that's why they had the Forerunners, but challenging the Covenant again, back then.
Yeah, it's a little boring.
Yeah.
So this is cool.
Yeah, I think the Banished does kind of feel more unique.
Different.
And
Yeah.
even though we're still challenging some Covenant enemies, it feels like they have this identity now.
Yeah,
that-
more established. It's not just like this.
Oh yeah, there's Storm faction.
Have you seen those memes of like we have X at home, and then it's like,
Yeah.
this is at
X
home.
at home.
Yeah, that's like Halo 4. It's like, we have the Covenant at home.
Covenant.
The Covenant at home. It's like Halo 4 Covenant. Halo 4,
Yeah.
Halo 5 Covenant.
Yeah, it'd be super interesting to see, especially because how previous games of Covenant, very cunning, swift and stuff. But when you look at the Banished, right, it's like brute force.
Yeah.
Like they
Heavy
force their
metal
way.
is
Yeah,
how
they
they
force
described
their way
it.
into anything.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see if they play. I'm sure they'll play differently, and it'll be cool to see that the aesthetics reflect that.
Yeah. They're gonna be pretty much the punk group. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Punk version.
They described it as heavy metal.
the metal.
So
Yeah, hashtag to Mick Gordon.
they got like big red war paint, big spikes, and they're like medieval looking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool, I think. And then I think lastly in that update, they're just like giving thanks to the community, and I kind of found it funny. They're just like, yeah, the graphic improvement is something we wanted to work on, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be possible without you guys. It felt funny to me because it could also come across as
Calling out.
sarcastic. Yeah.
little
It's like we knew, guys. Come on, but thank you for telling us. We
I
got
don't care.
it.
They can be sarcastic. I think the community's dumb sometimes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, to be fair, like no other, I think, game.
Developer, dude.
Yeah, developer lets the community have this much
Yeah.
input.
Definitely. Yeah.
No, I can't think of any other game where the community is as involved as Halo, and people and people still complain.
Yeah.
It's like they're already giving you so much. It's like, fine, you make the game. Take it.
There's only so much you could do to appease
Yeah,
the fans,
so, like,
I think we should be pretty thankful.
Yeah, that's something I've
for
always
real.
thought about. And then people right before they announced that they were gonna do monthly updates, people were like, "Oh my God, there's no news. Like they don't share anything." It's like same for other games. Like you get 1-2 trailers maybe. Like you don't get in-depth details about.
You don't get this much depth.
Besides maybe like what they show at like E3, that's the only time they
Yeah,
talk a little bit
definitely.
more about. But like other than that, they don't do
Yeah,
like.
they actually get the people who develop
Yeah.
this game, sit down with them, ask them the questions.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They
What
go
do you
in
think?
depth. It's like transparency at its best,
Yeah, it really is. Halo fans entitled as fuck.
Okay, so I guess now that leads us into the
Next
March
half.
update, which is on audio.
Yeah, audio.
Ooh, I wish we had like an audio expert here that we could, or someone who's a little more well versed in this.
Yeah,
like,
this
at
was-
least the technical side of the audio, so we can
Yeah, definitely.
explain. So we're gonna do our best. None of us claim to be. I think Tom was probably
Experts.
the most knowledgeable.
Yeah, audiophile
the audio
ish.
side.
I just know like quality of like brands and stuff, but like the way they describe
As far as like
some of the things
producing
and,
audio and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, their
we
new
don't claim to
system.
be,
I'm like, whoa, dude, that's. I have to like really kind of read it and just like.
I always wondered when they were gonna get to this part for the update because you know how prior to like all this stuff came out, there's always like memes and rumors about like, oh yeah, 343 is putting like millions of dollars into
All
recording
their
this
budget
one dog.
into
Like,
recording.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
this one
because for
dog,
like,
like-
almost. So for those of you who don't know or follow Halo on social media, for like a good maybe like half of a year, the only promotional material that 343 would put out for Halo Infinite was like field recordings, like
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
ass audio, like they're
They're
recording
recording dogs.
helicopters or like guns in the
recording
field or like
dogs.
fucking the pug one,
yeah,
which
the
is kind of
plug
funny.
one. That was funny.
So yeah, they did that for like the good half of a year, and so people were like, "This is
That was a
where
big chunk of their budget.
the
too, I
entire
think.
budget is going."
That was definitely a big chunk of their budget. I feel.
but
Yeah, they traveled.
I think that's a good thing though because what I think was I know they're trying to revamp the whole audio system, and that was at least a big point for Marty O'Donnell when he was creating Halo. The first 3 games, he became audio director, and then he talked about like the importance of audio as the like main element of a game for storytelling. And so that was for
Oh yeah.
his sake. He was like, oh, it has to be like this, or certain gameplay elements have to go a certain way in order to tell a great story, and audio was definitely his like number one aspect. And that's how he does. I know that's how he like kind of works for his other games too. So it kind of shows 343 understands that too, and they're kind of taking that approach for this game. Cool.
So getting into it, X, you had said something about hope earlier.
Oh yeah. So, in the Q&A for this Inside Infinite March 2021, they said that one of their pillars for making the audio, making the score was hope, and others were like Halo's always been about sci-fi, the sci-fi aspect, the mysteriousness of it. Is that even a word, mysteriousness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mysterious.
Yeah, so it carries over from the legacy era, because you know how,
Again, the focus.
for example, like the Halo suite, right? You have that that almost like Gregorian chant kind of thing at the very beginning, then it switches over to like the violins and stuff like that. So it definitely has that mysteriousness to it, that you're dealing with something beyond what humans would probably comprehend.
Yeah.
And it has that feel that it's both, alien and militarist.
Yeah, there's like a groundedness to the sound.
Yeah.
There's definitely identities with like each Halo.
Yeah.
The Halo 3, the first trilogy, definitely like all flow
Solid.
together. But then like ODST is like
ODST
very
is
jazzy.
like
Its own
completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Reach
Had
was
like the
definitely
jazzy
military
feel.
type.
Reach had like Reach, I feel like had like more of like out in the wilderness kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
military kinda,
jungle-esque. A lot of drums, a lot of percussions.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
It feels like wartime.
4 and 5 was like darker, I guess.
Yeah, more
They
somber.
said something about 4 and 5. I guess it just staying not feeling as hopeful as the original ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that quote that I think I don't have the person's name on it, but one of the audio directors or technicians had said that they wanted it to feel like, and I thought this was really cool. It was kind of poetic. It was like welcome. They wanted to feel like a welcome to new players and a welcome home to older players. I think that was a really cool way of putting it. That was super well said. I think.
Yeah.
Saying that like I already know what everything sounds like, but
So it's pretty, but it is pretty interesting to me what kind of direction they're taking towards audio and music, considering how dark 4 and 5 was, and since the 6th one is infinite, and you know how they sometimes they call it a spiritual reboot, right?
yeah.
It's as we've always said in previous podcasts and whatnot, it's return to roots, right? So we're gonna definitely get the old feeling of it, but in a sense newer.
Which I'm excited for, because like when they start the setup for Infinite feels really like dark, like where we just like lost this super big battle, and it's like the Banished is really like Brutes are kind of,
They're winning.
yeah,
We're losing.
and just as like psychologically, I think Brutes are kind of like they love torture and that kind of thing. So it's I think we're gonna see like a little darker tone, but like it's interesting that they kind of frame it as like this is going to be a hopeful kind of game,
that kind of
with so much like going into it, and like with the state of like the Guardians and Cortana being everything is like bad going into it. So it's cool that they say hopeful is going to be the tone, because right now it seems kind of ironic, but should be cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so super interesting how they're gonna handle that. Yeah. Anything else sad?
At least with the music, they said they currently wrote like 3 to 4 hours right now
That's cool.
for just campaigns. So
3
I
to
wonder-
4 hours of a soundtrack.
Wow. Okay.
That's a
An
lot.
album
that
is
is
like an
pretty long.
hour usually.
Yeah,
I wonder how much
it's wild.
when that thing goes on Spotify or something, man.
Instant.
Gonna be a long
Spend half a
listen.
day listening to it, all of it.
Excited! I can't wait to play that on Spotify. But now they've introduced like a whole new focus with sound and audio. So I think what they were explaining was with the new system, they looked at Halo 4 and Halo 5, how it felt a little bit cluttered. And in my experience, I kind of felt that way. I don't think there has been a really good like audio system for Halo in terms of like when I played it competitively and like when I play online compared to like other games like Apex or COD. Now you can hear like directional cues
sound
of
and
like
stuff.
where people are.
Yeah.
In Halo, I've played with my current headphones and I've never been able to kind of tell where people
It's
are.
just kind of sound coming out of
and-
everywhere.
So it's like it doesn't really help you in terms of the battlefield. While it all sounds good, it doesn't help me competitively and things like that. And it just they pretty much put sound to have sound. They're like they just put everything all together. Like, oh, there was a waterfall, we put waterfall. Oh, they're shooting, we'll put the gunshot sounds there. Oh, there's some ambient noise, we'll put it in. So they kind of just toned it down and simplified it for the user to create a more immersive experience, I think.
I've never really noticed that. Like, it was just interesting that they pointed it out that like that all of it was really cluttered, and they didn't like how everything was coming at you at once. Because like, and maybe that's because I, as an artist, like as a visual artist, it's not my like, it's not what I'm drawn to. Like immediately, I've never noticed that. Like, oh, like yeah, like directionally. I mean, you can hear like, I think you can hear like footsteps in reach or the breathe. That's what like I think about. It's just, like,
Only when you
it's
sprint, I think.
yeah, like you hear someone behind you or something. I think that's the closest to whatever. But like in 4 and 5, yeah, I've never like that's not something that bothered me. So it's not like, but I am. But like now that they've mentioned that like it's something that they've worked on, like oh that's cool. Like it's not something I personally thought I needed, but I'm like oh that's cool.
Yeah. Is it more so a focus on the important stuff now rather than like have, you know, everything just jumbled in together?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Anything else on the audio, guys, that you also liked from that part?
Oh yeah. So, yeah, in the update they did talk about how certain sounds would, I guess you could say, curve around certain walls and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, there was this big focus on making sound more immersive, going off of like what Tom and X were just saying. It's like, so the solution to the problem now is like they're trying to sound pathways, like sound doesn't just play out in an empty space, so it doesn't just like, oh, it's like there's a sound happening from like point A to B, like you just hear it. Like now it's like say someone's in room A and someone's in room B, right? You don't just hear a sound and it's played. You hear the sound as if like the game registers it as if like the sound is coming from the other room. And instead of it just, you know, traveling straight, I'm trying to explain this. I'm not a sound. No. So instead of it just traveling straight through space, it's going to sound as if it's coming through the door, right?
So it's not just like a muffled gunshot anymore. It has a direction now.
Yeah. And so if it's coming through a window, like then like the sound changes based off of like that coming through. And the same goes for like the space. And so I think the words that they use to talk about it are like they like optimizing obstruction and I think reverberation and occlusion. So like if you're in an empty space, there's more reverb to the sound. If you're in a tighter hallway, that sound is more crisp, and instead of it just being like a flat like like gunshots firing, it's gonna be like gunshots with the echo or gunshots but like really bright and tight.
So it would be super interesting to see how they all mash this up together, especially if there's just, you know, there's definitely going to be more than one wall in the way, right?
Yeah, and so like obstruction too, like on that note, like obstruction. So like if you're behind something, like you won't hear it as
height
well.
Differences as well.
Like if it was, like if something
how big
was
the room is.
So
that'd be
something
pretty
that's really
interesting
cool, I think.
to hear.
There's this whole diagram on it.
Yeah.
Tried to
one
break
that
it
I
down.
did not understand.
I think I got the most of it, but
Yeah. And then they're like saying just a little bit like, oh, this is the first Halo game that will support like Dolby Atmos, Windows Sonic, and all those surround sound type systems. So I feel like now my headphone experience will be a little bit better. Hopefully it's cool. And it's like, you know, it's
excited.
Big up from the previous game.
It sounds like they're excited.
Yeah. It seems like it's one of the most, I mean, they put a whole community update for this. So they must be pretty like excited for this new type of system.
Well, with all those field recordings, they have to.
Yeah, true.
They have to show for it, so they better have dedicated a whole thing. And on that note, so we get throughout the update, we get like a bunch of scattered actual audio tracks, and we'll be playing them as we go through this podcast, so you guys can hear them too. I think the first one that was really cool was the Halo 5 battle rifle versus Infinite battle rifle sound.
Can you just play it again, X? I mean, I don't know if we'll play.
All right, here's the
Halo 5 battle rifle. It's like,
okay, here's the Halo 5 one.
Oh, I think that was pretty good.
Here's the Halo 5.
More.
Here's the Halo 5 one.
More impressions. That's 5.
That's the Halo 5 one?
Yeah, we'll play one more time.
Okay.
And then here's the Infinite one.
Heavy.
One more time. Yeah, awesome.
What's your thoughts on that?
I can definitely hear the 3-round burst.
Yeah.
It sounds deeper. It sounds lower than the Halo 5 one. It has a lower sound pitch. It has a lower pitch, I guess. It sounds heavier.
Yeah.
Sounds like it went through puberty. It does. It sounds beefy.
It
like,
does sound beefy. It sounds like it
It
packs.
sounds like it sounds like a heavy gun.
Yeah, it does sound
which
like
I
a
think is
heavy
really
gun.
cool.
I wonder if anyone has already like took that audio and just pasted it over like someone shooting it. I kind of want to imagine it rather than hear it. I kind of want to see it visually too. Just to kind of.
Hey, let's do that. May or may not include this in the video version of the podcast. We'll see.
Okay, cool. That's actually interesting.
So, if it's not, then we were kind of lazy. So, but yeah, I really like it. I wish we got more than just the battle rifle.
Yeah, right. I want to hear the assault rifle.
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, the demo.
In
Oh
the
yes, that's
demo.
right. I watched the demo, guys. It's been a while.
That sounds cool. I think a lot of the weapons in general just have like a heavier sound to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the assault rifle still. I think CE has the best
Sounding one?
sound. It looks like a sounds
that
like
one
a killer.
that one's overpowered.
Yeah, but
That's
and
a
then
strong
3
gun.
sounds like a pellet, and then 5 is kind of like a mix of those things.
5 sounds really light. Both the BR and the
Yeah.
assault rifle sound like really light weapons.
So
The bright,
I
I,
would-
think is
I didn't like the one in the demo, but maybe
That's a good word.
they revamp it too. But yeah, I think the battle rifle is a step up.
Yeah.
I gotta see it in gameplay though. That's at least for me.
Not an audio thing, but really not an audio file, but really quickly they talked about how, on the note of like going back to old sounds, like
The
them
shields.
yeah, the shields I think was really cool. We'll put that. We'll look for it, because we'll put that in here right now.
Yeah, some of the things they went really back to the roots for sound effects. They were thinking about nostalgia, but then also what is Halo? That's
Yeah.
identity.
That shield sound, I think, is one, like, on the note of identity, is one that, like, you don't really think about, and then, like, when you hear it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's Halo. That's
Yeah.
so, like,
Oh,
that's so
yes.
iconically Halo.
Mhm.
And it's not, it's something that you don't get in, like, the 343 games. And it's not something that I realized, it's like, oh, hey, they cut the shield sound. But only when, like, they add it back do you realize, like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot, like, I haven't heard that in a while.
first
Yeah, I know when that Discover Hope trailer, when he just
He
boots,
boots
up
up.
cheap again, everyone was like, oh, the shield sound again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's the little things.
yeah.
There's this big track of ambient sounds of a Forerunner interior space, which I think is super cool.
It's pretty
because
mysterious. How do we play it?
I
mean-
can't use. Yeah, let's play it. I don't have other adjectives
you pull that
besides
up, X?
cool.
Kind of makes you wonder, like, it makes me picture what kind of environment you're walking in as you listen.
Well, there's that picture that they put.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't look like the first
yeah,
one.
it's just a
sounds more
concept
like
art
this.
picture.
Yeah. So I think those two motifs that are going on.
I'm happy there's a creepy vibe.
Yeah, no, there's that mysteriousness again that's like, that really feels like old Forerunner, like empty, like these spaces haven't been lived in for thousands of years,
Yeah.
right? It's just like you're the first person to be in this space again. It's like, and
Now it's a ghost town.
yeah, oh my god, I hate you. And then there's that second half that X was describing, that like really brighter, like
Yeah.
twinkling. That's something I get. Like, I think it's like a wow. I feel like I'm in art school again, like critiquing something. That wonder is the right word, right? That like this is scary, but also it's like mysterious in a nice kind of wonderful, like awe-struck
Yeah.
kind of way, where it's like, wow, like I can appreciate this. and you go through it. It tells that kind of that story. It's like you go in scared, and it's like, oh, I don't like this, and then it's like, wow, you find kind of comfort in this. Like, wow, this is just beautiful kind of thing. And I hope that if it will look like what it sounds like, I'm excited for like that kind of visual storytelling. Something other audio files they included was the sound for a new brute weapon that just got unveiled. What's it called?
The skewer.
Barbecue skewer.
Yeah.
It's a power weapon.
Definitely sounds like one.
Yeah. It fires like a giant
Single round.
spear.
I think it is a single round. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it
the
sounds
javelin gun from Dead Space 2.
It's like a.
I think it's probably a one-hit kill, right?
It looks like
Yeah.
it, man.
Well, if it spears someone.
Dude, imagine
If you
like
took-
you're
Yeah.
aiming at like a Spartan and then you skewer him and he just gets
It
stuck
just
to like
carries
the
him
wall
away.
or something.
I
think
feel
you'd
like
be
that
good for
alone
that.
would give Infinite its mature rating.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think that would kill someone.
How is that not graphic?
Yeah.
Brute weapons in general are pretty graphic, but
Just
like,
like a ragdoll effect when they get speared
Yeah.
through.
yeah,
Eee.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that
Little
would be
Gears
cool.
of War and
Imagine if I
Doom and
shoot
Halo.
you with the javelin gun, you just fly off Zeta Halo.
Exactly. See how far you can toss an enemy with it or shoot an enemy with it.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, so it's this power weapon. Looks like it fires a one-round spear-like projectile, and then they do a little breakdown of I think it was cool how they layer the sounds. So there's like there are 4 layers to the sound that they point out, and we'll play them. So the first one is impact, and then the next one is mech, kind of the like that gritty like metal kind of sound that you get from like brute weapons, not elegant. And then the next is like that sci-fi element, because it can't sound like human or anything that a human would probably come up with, so that kind of alien aspect to it. And then the trail, which is like that little like
Yeah.
at the
French
end,
kiss. French.
right? for a
Chef
little, and then
kiss.
it's all together. It sounds like this, which is cool because it's like I see this picture of this gun, and I hear the sound. I'm like, yeah,
That's terrifying.
that sounds
It,
yeah,
it sounds terrifying. It's nothing like
and
I've
it sounds
ever heard.
exactly what I think it should sound like
Yeah.
based on how it looks.
It's gonna be fun. I'll find like another fun Halo weapon. We had the energy sword in 2, and then the gravity
Yeah.
hammer in 3, and now we finally get a new one maybe with the skewer.
I'm just like realizing now how big like the weapon sandbox is gonna be.
Yeah, I mean with variants
Because
for
you have the
same.
UNSC, right?
Yeah.
And then the Covenant, the typical plasma-based weaponry, and then you have a brute
Forerunner.
set. This is assuming that they make like a whole set, right? For the brutes you need, for the banish you need a primary. I wonder if they're gonna
Holy
combine,
crap, man! Like Mauler variants,
right?
storm rifle variants.
Yeah, so you're gonna need your basic
Storm
like
covering.
assault rifle, then like a ranged,
Yeah,
and then like a close, like a shotgun or like some close proximity weapon, and then a power,
yeah.
multiple power if anything.
It's gonna be
So it
fun.
could be cool.
We're having a lot of stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
And then they also added a sample track, which was pretty long. It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Mishmash.
yeah, let's just play it first before we get our thoughts into it. I don't know if I know X kind of heard it before and you did, but I guess let's just replay it one more time. But yeah, like
Yeah, that part sounds like a scarab or a guardian.
it's
It does. It sounds like
straight
Halo
up
Wars.
sounds Forerunner. I think it's like a Guardian. What I envisioned just listening to it before, it was like it sounds like it was from a cutscene.
Mhm.
It sounds like something's happening going on, like maybe a war, like maybe this is a fight between
Sounds like-
or like everything's just exploding around him. Something they just stripped the dialogue, and then this is like actually a scene in the game.
Maybe. Yeah.
Sounds like something from District 9.
You right. You right.
Good movie, by the way.
There's a lot of machinery for sure.
Yeah, because it seems pieced together rather than like
That's Forerunner.
yeah.
That's Prometheus.
seems-
That sounds like a light rifle.
It seems like they put it together in chrono order or something. It doesn't seem like it's one
That
sound,
sounds like
one sound
phasing.
in the sample track. Yeah, it just seems like it's from something.
That sounds like things zooming past you. It's like accessing a console or something, going through a lift.
I think that was like a mech, like a mantis, like I don't know, starting up a Forerunner vehicle maybe. Maybe we finally get Forerunner tanks.
I'm down for a 400.
Yeah, that was cut from Halo 2, but imagine if they actually bring that concept to life. So they said there's a redacted vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, sound like Prometheus.
Yeah, that sounds like a
weapons.
binary type hard light.
Sound like a real gun.
I think it's definitely not human, most of it.
Yeah,
Definitely not Covenant. I think it's either Banished or...
yeah. I mean, I heard some speculation on the comments like, oh, they think it's a banished scarab.
Yeah.
I never played Halo Wars 2 enough
That's
to
what I
know what
said.
it sounds, but does that sound similar?
There's there's a brief part I mentioned earlier. It's probably gonna line up with the audio where I
Okay.
said
Dude, banished scarabs are
it sounds
terrifying.
like the scarab.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Let's get those
They're
boss
beefy
battles.
as hell,
yeah, they're thick boys.
and they're terrifying.
That was a pretty cool sample track, and then I guess they just really at the end it's more tease again, more talk
Yeah.
about.
They kind of finish off by asking the staff what their favorite audio, I guess,
Yeah.
new sound is in the game. Cal Frazier was the guy who,
What did he say? Oh,
who said that thing. His favorite sounds were redacted.
freaking guy.
He's the lead sound designer. So he said there was a new weapon sound that we haven't seen, and then a new vehicle sound. And he said, I think there was even like vehicles plural. So more guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Ooh, Tales from the Trenches. Yeah, the team thoughts. They even talk about again signing up for Halo Insider.
do it if you
So-
haven't signed up yet.
They're getting closer and closer to public flighting, so maybe
Yup,
X's prediction about a beta in E3.
calling it.
I hope so, but
Sign up for Inside and no Halo the Halo Insider program, for potential to be involved in.
Yeah. Ooh, and then they talk about new medals for Halo Infinite. There were a
What?
lot
New
of
medals?
like cut ones from Halo 5 that were pretty cool. So
Where's this?
it's right here.
Oh, I didn't read this part.
Yeah, like there'll be a medal for like hijacking a vehicle with a grapple shot. So what they're gonna
What?
call
That's cool.
that, So they're gonna be some new stuffs. It'll be cool here to
I
hear.
love medals.
It'll be cool to hear Jeff Steitzer say something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound, the voice narrator.
That
for-
should be your action. That should be an action sack topic. Favorite metal
Oh,
sound.
maybe.
We'll put that in there maybe at some point. But I think that covers most of March's update.
Yeah, it does. That we're finally caught up, and I'm assuming that by the time we release this, there'll be even another article that
the
comes
April
out.
update will come right out.
Yeah, probably a new Q&A. But we'll be here for the next Inside Infinite, definitely. So let's go. You know what time it is.
It's action sack time.
Hopefully this isn't running too long and we have time for it. Let's do 2.
All right. Action sack time.
Maybe you'll see this now. This time, X has
Okay.
Master Chief's helmet, and he's opening the helmet.
More chips.
And he's handing me the helmet, and he's pulling out the sack, the purple sack.
The sack of action.
Not gonna lie, these chips kind of taste like Asian.
All right, so today we're
I
going to
don't-
do
I'm
two
not-
questions
I'm Asian, guys,
from
but-
the action sack.
Like it tastes like Asian.
I'm
flavoring.
shaking the
Oh, I
bag.
should not chew into the mic.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first question is Halo Infinite as a spiritual reboot. Thoughts?
Oh man, that was my question actually. That was my.
I feel like
So
we've
that-
covered
that
this
I put it.
multiple times just in
We
talking
have-
about the update.
I forgot. Wait, let me see what I had in my notes because I know
He has notes.
I
He came
understand,
prepared.
or I had a
His
reasoning
notes.
why I included that. If not, we can cut that. But
Huh?
I'm gonna look because I had my notes,
Yeah.
and
Already
I
took
know there was
notes.
a reason why I wanted that to talk about it.
So while Tom is going through his notes, in terms of spiritual reboot, I guess to me it means, in a sense, we're going to see a lot of what made Halo Halo, if you know what I mean, in terms of in terms of design, sounds, overall the feel of Halo. What made Halo
Okay.
Halo today,
I think I
and so
deleted
on and so forth.
So X, what makes Halo Halo?
So it's that, I don't know, it's a bunch of small things that when add up together make Halo. So like as you said before, right, earlier, you had that shield sound when it's recharging. That's Halo. When
Oh,
you
it's like that Halo 3 commercial that came out. It was like GameStop. It was like the transition from Halo 2 Halo 3. And it's like, buy bloody alien guts, buy spinning wheels from Zanzibar, buy like all these little tiny tidbits from Halo 2 that was like nostalgia bits.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of my favorite Halo 3 commercials. Yeah.
I don't know that Halo 3 commercial, but I'm about to watch it after this.
Oh, dude, that's like, that was my favorite.
We'll watch it after.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just all the small things that make Halo Halo.
I think it means nostalgia.
Yeah. I couldn't find it in my notes, but I think what I meant was like Halo it's like a reset. And I know in the previous episode I was like, I don't want it to kind of just erase everything they had done with Halo
Yeah.
4 and 5. That was my biggest priority. But when it comes to the spiritual reboot, I like that they are going back to the roots. I like that they're kind of re-showcasing what makes Halo Halo. And
Exactly.
you see that with the first announcement trailer when they showed Master Chief's helmet for the first time back in the like a more original design of the Mark 6.
Yeah.
So, and then from then on, people could tell, yep, this is Halo, or the excitement for the game came back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm excited. I'm hopeful.
I think that's it.
All right.
Because we've covered it a bunch.
Yeah.
On to the
with
next
these updates.
action sack topic. And the question is, what audio sounds are you most looking forward to?
I feel like I'm being interviewed.
Yeah, we just we
I
just
didn't
went
prep
through-
for this question.
Yeah, but we really just got through some of the sample stuff, but what I want to hear.
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm really curious if they bring back some of the variants that we already heard, like the Nornfang or the Halo 2 beam rifle Delta. Like, do they bring those sounds or revamp it too? But I guess, let me think of like one sound I'm actually.
I want to hear the
really
energy
excited-
sword.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
Is
right?
it going to be that classic, like sound, or that zing, like super bright and metallic-y sound in the newer games? I think it should be the first prior.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to hear a DMR.
Is there DMR?
Just joking. I want to hear a sniper rifle.
Ooh.
Because if the Infinite BR is anything, if the Infinite BR sounds like that, the sniper rifle has to sound like wow. Has that wow factor in it.
I'm really just excited. Huh?
Go ahead.
They talked a lot about how they were really excited, or like in the article, the Infinite update, they were excited about all the voice recording stuff, and I'm also really excited about. I think they have such a cool cast, and
They always have like all these cool actors.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, because we haven't gotten much context as far as like campaign and like the direction of the story, and so like and what these guys will be like encountering. So I think that would be really cool. I want to hear the Arbiter.
the sound effects that I'm really excited for is the announcer. I want to hear Just Stacer's new.
Oh, you're right.
His just new version on the medals, the new ones too, and I think that's pretty exciting. I think just more and even the UI, I loved when the classic countdown sound. When you press in the menu and stuff like that.
Is there a
Swishes.
countdown side for Halo 5?
Yeah,
Countdown
I think
sound?
there is. It's not, or
No,
it's
they
not.
play
It
that
is.
music. It's
There
like-
is. There's a countdown sound.
There is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that nice though.
Yeah. So, and the Halo music, I hope it's like akin to the. It should be still the Halo theme, a variant of it. Could be its own version, whether it's like mysterious like Halo 1 or like melancholic or like choiric like Halo
the main
2.
theme?
Huh?
The main theme?
Yeah,
I think
it should
it's
be a
gonna be
variant.
that-
Always should be a variant of it. If it's a main Halo game, it always should be the variant of the main theme.
I
for
think the main
menu.
theme is going to be what we got in the launch demo.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Which
those
I'm
are the
happy
things.
with. I love
Those
that one.
those are the sound effects I'm excited about.
Keith David's sexy voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in Halo Infinite, bro. They didn't bring him
The
back.
Arbiter is in Halo Infinite. Confirmed.
All right, so
I know. I just know. Feel it in my bones.
one more.
Let's do one more.
All right, one more. Last one. Ooh. Halo Wars 2 tie-in.
Oh. Tom can't talk about this because he has not played Halo Wars 2.
Is that even a question? It's just a topic.
It's just
kind
a
of
topic.
But
Interesting.
so Tom, sorry, because
okay.
you have refused to play.
But
the game.
basically, my thoughts on that, it's like, it shouldn't be that way, though. I feel like it should be Halo 5
No.
and Halo 6. You don't
No.
need a bit. I think that's when they did the spiritual reboot thing. It's like they want you to kind of, it's a reset that, so it's a new story, and then you can easily follow. Whereas Halo 4 or 5, you felt like you had to, read the lore, read the books to kind of know what's going on in the background or some of the story sometimes. So at least as a tie-in, I feel like I don't want to play. I know I'm going to play the game.
Don't play.
Yeah.
Don't play.
Play it.
He said play. You said don't.
No, I'm telling you not to play. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it.
Okay.
I love that they're tying Halo
Yeah.
Wars.
That's what is it? Expanding the universe.
I think it was a story that was doing really well and that people were really excited about. I'm not looking at Tom because he doesn't know because he didn't play.
Dude, bro, there was that scene where the
Shut up.
the
Shut up.
the part of the ring
It's
lifted.
just a scene, bro. Did you play it?
No, he didn't. And I think it was 343 responding to something that people were really positive about. Because when people Wars 2 came out at when there was high hate around Halo 5 and MCC was kind of not doing so well, but people were really responding to hey, this feels more like Halo than the
Than
main
your
Halo
other main
game,
title
right?
games, yeah.
And so I think that's something that they really capitalized on was wow, Halo Wars 2, they didn't expect people to be so excited about wow, and it's a strategy game, and it's wow, this is cool, this feels like Halo, and so I think it was a smart move to jump on that, and that's something that I haven't heard anyone besides Tom say negative things about. I think everyone has been excited about even people who haven't played Halo Wars are oh, the Banished seem really cool.
Yeah.
As a faction that we haven't played before.
I didn't say they were not cool.
No,
I
that's
just
exactly what he
felt
said.
oh man, I have to do this again.
And he's only saying that because he didn't play the games. He doesn't want to do the work.
well, I'm going to be doing a stream before Infinite.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm gonna play each Halo game
I'm not
throughout.
letting up.
So, yeah, I'll play all these games, be tied in right before the launch of Infinite.
Oh.
So I'm gonna be caught up. I'm gonna play the game. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of episode 3, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, we made it.
Audio.
Thanks for listening, guys. I think. What was I gonna say? Thanks for listening. Join us for next month's episode, which will be about.
I don't know.
They didn't
say?
tease
What if-
one this time.
No, they did say it back then. I think it's PC. I think
Oh
so.
yeah, that's
I think
right.
it's gonna
We'll get
PC.
Ren. We'll get Ren on.
Yeah, we'll get Ren on
We'll get
the
our
show.
friend who's PC master is the master race
That's
kind
not
of
a guarantee. That's not a guarantee.
So yeah, so whatever that ends up being, we'll catch you next month.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening.
PC,
Until
I'm
then.
excited.
This-
Play Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, play Halo Wars 2. Until then.
No, I'm not playing Halo Wars 2 to the next episode. Not yet.
Okay.
I was talking to the listeners, not you. Why you
All
think
right.
everything's about you?
Okay.
Play Halo Wars 2. Until then, this is Xavier.
This is Eurich.
And this is Thomas. Thank you again for watching Action Sack, a Halo podcast.
Listening, not watching. If you're on YouTube.
What?
Bye.
Uh,
And now it's time to say goodbye. So long, farewell to you, my friends.
honestly, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch Out of the Box? Did you watch
didn't
Out of the
see it.
Box? Oh my
I didn't
God!
see
See,
Maybe I didn't have TV at the time.
you're lame.